Hi, today we're going to be making a really great dish for you. It could be a bar food if you'd like, but it's crispy tripe with a chickpea mayo. And why I say that in inverted commas is we're not going to be using any egg to make this mayo sauce. So you're going to have to stay tuned and figure out how we do this. So what is tripe? Tripe is the stomach lining from a ruminant animal. And what does that mean? It's an animal that has 4 stomachs. So this is a honeycomb tripe that we're going to be using today, and you have to stay tuned to figure out how to get to this. Today we have 3 different types of tripe, and it's really just looking at the texture of the inner lining. So this one is a blanket or a flat tripe. This one is a honeycomb, and you can actually look and see it resembles honeycomb. And this one is what we call the book. And it really looks like little leaves of books. So we're going to contemporize it today and from a Caribbean perspective, because traditionally tripe would be served in a soup form on Saturdays, where the grandmothers would go to the market and the butcher would have tripe there, of course. And how would I take this particular cut and utilize it for the family? So we would have a soup. But we're dealing with it a little differently today, and what we're going to do is we're going to make a stock and allow it to cook until tender for about 1.5 to 2 hours, and then we're going to flatten it to allow some of that liquid to come out, and we will fry it. Okay, so we're going to get started. I'm going to put beef stock in. We have onions as well, celery, garlic, thyme leaves, 2 Scotch bonnet, salt, and some pimento. The honeycomb tripe in the mix, and we're going to cover with some water. So this is going to cook until tender for about 1.5 hours. We have put the tripe in the refrigerator overnight on with a heavy weight, so you can use a pot of water. We're taking it off, and the reason for this between 2 sheet trays is so that we keep our tripe nice and flat, as you can see, so that we can now cut it, bread it, and fry it. So now we're going to cut the tripe into squares so that we can bread it. Okay, so we're just moving along. And really that resting it between the 2 sheet trays really makes a difference. It gives you an even thickness, which is great. Breading technique, but we're using 2 different types of coating. One is going to be breadcrumbs, which is your traditional, and this is cornmeal. So we have whatever type of vegetable or let's say protein that you would like to deep fry. Today we're going to do it okra. So the first step is to do a very light coating of flour. You can put a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper in your flour. And then we're going to just dip into an egg wash mixture, which is really an egg that has been beaten with just a little bit of water. And if you look, you can see how the egg is coated the white with the flour. It's not coming off. And then we're going to finish it by putting it into our cornmeal. And if you notice, the technique with my hand is I keep one hand for wet and I finish with my other hand to coat the dry. So the second type of breading we're doing is with the tripe, and this is a breadcrumb breading, but it's the same principle: flour, egg wash, and breadcrumbs. With the okra, we did flour, egg wash, and cornmeal. We're dusting it off nicely and putting it in our egg wash. You can see a little bit of the flour that is already adhered into an egg wash mixture, and then we're going to put it into our breadcrumbs to finish. To test your oil, I have a little piece of, I just want to make sure when you put it in, you can see that it's starting to bubble and fry nicely. So I know that my oil is ready. You can also put your hand a little bit above. Do not go down into the oil, but just to sort of feel the heat coming up. Sometimes when we're searing as well, we would put our hand over or just look to see if there's some smoke. But now I'm going to fry the okra. So another rule of thumb is, in order to kind of figure out when the okras are ready for picking up, you will feel a crunchy texture on the outside, but also the bubbles have started to subside. And that means that a lot of the moisture in the product is being released. And now I'm going to put in the tripe. Really nice and golden brown, beautiful color. And after this, we're going to make our chickpea mayonnaise that goes with it.